Oh, there's Mr. Hensley. What's up, Dave?
Here we go. We are
Damn,
live.
what's going on? What's up, guys? John here. Titan Talk Tuesday in full effect. How you guys doing? I see everybody joining in right away. I appreciate all you guys joining in. Got a great show for you guys. As always, going to talk about some awesome things today. Awesome therapies. Hopefully, you guys will be joining in on the talks. If you guys have any questions about what we do or some of the things that we're talking about or maybe some therapies that you want to try, go ahead and shoot it out. They'll talk to you guys in depth about it and go over those questions. What's going on? B Moves in the house. Jurassic Exotic Reptiles. Stoic. Hi from Romania. What's going on? Freedom Light Productions. We got some international players in the house today. Christian, what's going on? Strength Addicts. How you doing, man? Dr. K. Anthony Ward, what's up? Jiu-Jitsu Brian, how you doing? John Gross. Everybody in the house. Dan Wheeler, what's up, dude? Hope all is well. Spanish Warrior, Meyer, Roxy Lux, how you doing? Hope all is going well. So if you have any questions, go ahead and shoot them off. I'm going to get going with this show because I got a lot of good things to cover with you guys. And some of these topics today are going to be really, really good. And some of them have to deal with hormones and such like that. And I think you guys are going to be very interested in some of the different things that we talk about. So with no further ado, let's get started with Titan Talk Tuesday. Okay, so the first thing I always like to start off with Titan Talk Tuesday is always the therapy of the week. I like to go in depth about it, talk about it a little bit, maybe give you guys a little bit more education, understanding, and knowledge on these different therapies. And each week I like to cover them in depth. And I cover them now and I cover them with Big Drew on Friday. But, you know, here I really like to get in depth with you and talk about it. So I'll talk about recommended for burning belly fat in a second. Give me 1 second and let's talk about this, and then we'll go into TB5, or we'll go into the fat burning things. All right, so TB500, it's a synthetic version of TB4. Now this is made in the thymus gland, and the main thing that makes it work the best is actin, and actin is a cellular protein, right? It causes proliferation and migration of cells. And the other good thing about TB500 is that it's awesome because it creates new blood vessels and such, and you want blood to get to the affected areas where the damage is done. It's really good with soft tissue damages too as well. So meniscus tears and stuff like that, really, really good. Friday Latasha, what's going on? Hope all is well. See, you've been rocking the Titan gear, looking fabulous and putting in that work. So with this, with TB500 or TB4, it's going to work in a number of different ways. Now, it's great for soft tissue damages, and it's also good for connective tissue. Also, muscles, tendons, ligaments, it's great for that. It's great for taking away inflammation in the body too as well. The other things it's good for is it's pretty much good for flexibility too as well. So if you want to get more flexible in areas, or you're recovering from hard training sessions, so you don't have to just use it per se for injuries, but you could use it as a prophylactic, as a preventative per se, okay? Or maybe helping you get over and recovery faster as far as muscle development and gains. So it can be used in a number of different ways. Now, it works awesome because you can inject TB500, TB4, in the stomach area, subcutaneously, right? And it's going to work systemically throughout the body. It's going to carry throughout the whole body. So at that point, it will work its way through and get to the damaged areas. Now, you can inject it closer to as well. You usually inject this with an insulin needle, baby insulin needle. So it's really small and virtually painless. And you can go to a number of different areas subcutaneously. So this works really, really good. Now, it works good by itself. But if you pair it up with BPC 157, Body Protection Compound 157, those work synergistically together. So you're going to get even more of an effect of healing and recovery from these things, and from injuries in particular. Another one TB500 is really, really good for is open wounds. So if you had surgery, or let's say you had road rash of some sort, maybe you got in a motorcycle accident and stuff, this is really good to help repair those burns or wounds that you may have got from these different accidents or injuries, excuse me. So these are just some of the different things that you can use TB500 for, and it's helped a number of different patients in a number of different ways. So at that point, you know, this could be something that can be utilized before possibly having surgery or something like that, where you might have to have a longer recovery time. You have to go underneath the knife. You got to get cut. I mean, this is serious stuff. So at that point, you want to take it serious and then do everything that's in your toolbox to hopefully be able to recover from these injuries or accident that happened in the best possible way, in the most safest way too as well. And even if you have to have surgery, incorporating something like this afterwards so you can heal faster, recover faster from that surgery. Because let's face it, there's some injuries out there that you're going to get that TB-500 or BPC-157 are not going to be able to fix, okay? And you might need to have something else done medically. But on the recovery and the path to recovery, this is where it can speed things up and help you on that path to get better quicker, right? And that's what it's all about, right? If we have to go through something like that, we want to recover as fast as possible and get back at it, get her back at our normal routine, get back into maybe training, exercising, whatever it is, so you can get back into shape, feeling good mentally and physically together. So TB-500 is an awesome healing peptide. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and shoot them out to me about it, and we'll talk about it further. If not, I'll get into another subject. TB-500 is an awesome healing peptide, and it does not require blood work either. So all you have to do is fill out the new patient paperwork. You can do that online on our website, and it's really simple and easy to do. After that, we'll call you, get you scheduled for a medical consultation, and you can ask the provider any questions or concerns you may have about it. And they'll go over this in full blown spectrum for you, so you guys understand everything, and they're educating you guys. You guys aren't rushed through these things, and at that point we'll be here for your support too as well. But you can order that therapy, you can get started on it, and usually people are like, hey, how long does it take to really heal from something like this? So it just depends on what the injury is too as well, right? We've had some people where I think Hulk Squad, he pulled something in his hamstring, and basically he healed within like 3 to 4 weeks. So I mean, it might take a little bit of time, a couple of weeks to healing, but it should speed up the process of healing. So if it's 10 to 12 weeks, as they tell you, hopefully we're getting there in 5 or 6. We're cutting down a halfway point. Everybody's different too as well, right? So I'm not going to put a certain date or time on someone and tell you that, and nobody can either. So I don't want nobody to take that and say, oh, we can tell you you're going to heal in 3 weeks. There's no way. I mean, a doctor can tell you about a roundabout time, but that's it. All right, so Mahir Mike said, can MK677 affect your sugar or glucose levels? So there has been a little bit of evidence that possible glucose levels could be affected. Usually at 25 milligrams, and that's what we prescribe for patients. Usually you don't see too much of that, but hey, listen, anything's possible. And if you're having glucose issues or you're diabetic per se, right, there could be some other different things out there for you to use therapy-wise that are not going to affect glucose levels. And let's lead right into weight loss, because that was one of the questions. We had a question, what's really good for burning fat and weight loss? So if you are type 2 diabetic and you're going for weight loss and you can't take like MK677, or maybe you have, cardiovascular issues and you can't take ECAs, and you don't want to take AOD because you don't want to inject every day, that will lead us into the Aries injectable weight loss therapy, semaglutide. And that's going to be one of the top of the line weight loss therapies and game-changing weight loss therapies that are out there. It's FDA approved for weight loss. It works on a number of different levels, from curbing appetite and hunger, for slowing digestion down, releasing nutrients evenly and more spread out per se, than spiking blood sugar levels right away, and getting rid of blood sugar immediately by getting the sugar out of the bloodstream and into cells so it's getting used. So at that point, that's what it's about. All right, so I hope that answered your question. So the Aries injectable weight loss therapy, semaglutide, game changer if you guys are trying to lose weight, trying to lean up, have problems with hunger or eating issues too as well, can't stick to your nutrition plan because of this. Semaglutide is going to take you guys to a whole different level and hopefully take you past that plateau and take you past the issues that you're having with some of these things like hunger and cravings that you might have. Because listen, it is hard, right? Especially at nighttime, if you've been starving yourself all day and going into calorie restriction, you start getting those cravings for carbs, sugars, possibly, and you want these things. And it's okay. A lot of people go through these cravings at night, especially me. Like I like chocolate, really good chocolate though. So I am, you have to be responsible for what you're doing, right? And you have to have self-control. And self-control is everything. So even if you are going to eat something that may not be on your nutrition plan, it's not the worst thing out there to eat, okay? And you're not eating a whole box of anything. That's the big thing, not overindulging on things. It's not about excess. It's about, taking a little bit at a time and enjoying things, right? And that'll get you by it too as well. Plus drinking water. That's another big one for weight loss that everybody kind of misses. If you drink water, they tell this to everybody out there, drink more water and you'll feel less hungry. Now, if you've starved yourself all day, I don't know how much less hungry you're going to get, and you might want to eat something. But water will help getting past the hunger cravings too as well. With semaglutide, game changer. So if anybody asks me about a weight loss therapy, and I want to tell them, like, what's probably the biggest, baddest baddie that's out there that's brand new, it's going to be the Aries injectable weight loss therapy, semaglutide. We've got a number of patients. We had a girl that came on our live yesterday. I did just a pop-up live with Andre Adams. And we were talking about, and he's IFBB Pro, Team Titan, former Olympian, and a great master trainer, right? And at that point, we were talking about some of these different things, and somebody popped on. It was a patient, and she's talked about how in her first 3 weeks with this, she's lost 14 pounds. So that's underneath a month, guys. If you're losing 14 pounds and underneath a month, that's a game changer. It's almost scary to me. I don't want anybody to lose, because listen, gaining a lot of weight too fast and losing a lot of weight too fast can also be unhealthy. I don't think anybody else talks about that. They just talk about you losing the weight or losing 30 pounds in a month or whatever it is. But you want to make sure that you're losing weight healthy too as well, right? Because I mean, you can gain weight unhealthy and you can lose weight being unhealthy. There's a number of different ways. And that's where eating disorders and all these different things come into play as far as losing weight, especially for females out there. I think they get the gist of it. I think a lot more females care about what they weigh than guys, even though I think a lot of guys are starting to catch up on that. And they want to look good too. So, but I think that females are more looked at in that light, and they look harder down on themselves too as well. I'll take it all. Eduardo says, you can get it all too, man. All you guys got to do, if you guys want to become a patient, we service nationwide. We don't service a couple different states, but Ohio is coming back. I think it's any day now. I thought it was going to be yesterday, to be honest with you. So, if you guys want to become a patient and take advantage of any of the services that we offer, from hormone replacement therapy for males and females, medical weight loss therapies like we talked about here, anti-aging therapies, injectable vitamin amino acid therapies, especially our signature therapies, right? Hangover and rejuvenation recovery therapies, relationship enhancing libido therapies, in-house and nationwide blood work for a number of different things too. Not just your vital organs, but we're going to show you what's going on with your hormones too as well. Free and total testosterone levels, estradiol levels for females, total estrogen levels, DHEA levels for females too as well. We're going to look at IGF-1 levels, so growth hormone levels in males and females, B12 levels, and we can test a number of other different tests for you guys. And we can test full panels, or we can test single panels. So if we really look at different things like hemoglobin A1C, what's your sugar levels, right? What are not just your glucose fasting sugar levels, but what's your average for 3 months? And that's the true test to tell you if you're pre-diabetic, diabetes type 2, or you're really past the spectrum and you really need help. This is going to tell you where you fall at. And it doesn't matter if you fast or you don't fast. A hemoglobin A1C is going to tell you a true answer and result. It's going to give you a true result of what it really is. So, and then you can judge and you can change different things like your diet or maybe these different medications like semaglutide. It's another game changer for people that are pre-diabetic or have diabetes type 2. And it's also great for weight loss. So it's FDA approved in both manners. So it can be used in a number of different ways. So I'm really, really pumped on that one. And I'm really pumped about the results I've been seeing with people. Ange Tusa in the house. What's going on? Rosavino. Who's Leah Biner? Man, we got everybody in the house. What's going on? Helensky, thank you guys for all tuning in. Titan Talk Tuesday, full effect every Tuesday, guys, at 6 p.m. I'm coming to you guys live, talking about all these different things. Oh, my God, I hope we're not getting are we getting a crazy, blast here? Guys, what is going on? It's great, man. Everybody's joining in. I'm loving this. So what is the other option than MK677? Good question. So, Mike, I got to ask you this question, and then I'll answer afterwards. What are you trying to go for? What is the goal? Because that's what we're going to talk about. Really what we're trying to achieve. Is it weight loss? Is it lean body mass? Right? Is it better sleep patterns? Is it anti-aging? Or is it all? Let me know that. But I can talk to you about an injectable, which is CJC 1295 with Imperellin. So with this, you're getting two different peptides, GHRH peptides, growth releasing hormone peptides. And they both work similarly, but in two different ways. They're both going to help stimulate the natural production of your own growth hormone in your pituitary. Not overstimulate, not create fake, no synthetic, but it's actually going to help your pituitary produce its own. So this can help with a number of different things, right? And it's increasing the pulse of how much it's hitting the pituitary to produce. With this, and they work synergistically together, with this lean body mass, helping sleep patterns, you're going to stay lean. It's not going to spike blood sugar levels, and I think that's the big one that you were worried about with MK677. So at that point, you don't have to worry about that. This peptide or these peptides together are not going to do that. It's still going to give you a really, really great result. It's not going to increase your hunger either as well. And that's what some people really do look for when they want to take MK to CJC. They're like, I'm like, what are you trying to do here? The practitioner is asking them, are you a 110-pound female that's trying to lose a couple pounds for a photo shoot? Or are you a guy that's, an ectomorph? That means you can't put on quality lean muscle really easily. Are you trying to do that? And that's really going to see where we can do it. And also your health history is going to come into play. So if you are a type 2 diabetic or have a problem with blood sugar levels, then we will have to steer in different directions. But it's all on you guys. It's really about personalized medicine. And that's what a lot of people are missing nowadays. There's a lot of people that are trying to get into this or seeing this field, and it's all like a cookie cutter type thing. Everybody gets the exact same thing. It's real simple and easy to do like that too. I understand from a business standpoint, everybody comes in, we have it all worked out, everybody's going to get the exact same thing, and we're going to move on. But it's not like that. We're not making a sandwich, right, from Subway or whatever it is, where we know how much meat we're going to put on there, how much cheese we're going to put on there, how much bread, and that's it. Every sub is the exact same. We're making it uniformity. Now, protocols shouldn't be like that. Now, it's all about, because things change between a male, a female, health history, ages, all these different things take into account. What the blood work looks like. I mean, there's a lot of different things you can look at. So we want to make sure it's a personalized regimen for you guys. Big shout out to all you guys tuning in at Titan Talk Tuesday with me, John, CEO of Titan Medical Center. If there's any of the therapies or any of the things I'm talking about that you guys want to know more about, and I don't think we don't want to hear about sex. I think enough people hear about sex. But if you're looking to improve your sexual health, that's where we can talk about Cupid's Candy, our Supermans, our Wonder Womans, and all these great things that we have to offer to enhance and improve your sexual function and your relationship with your partner. What's up, Kawane Lise? What's going on? How you doing out there? I'm sorry if I did not pronounce that right. So many people in here, Big Irishman. So many people. It's great. Loving it, man. Keep joining, guys. I'm loving it. Keep commenting. Tell me what you guys want to talk about, and I'm going to move on here. If you guys think it's entertaining, chime in.
We got one real quick. What about PT141?
Awesome. Seth Jordan, great topic to bring up. So Seth Jordan's talking about PT141. It's another peptide. And for Rayan or San Rayan, it's right up your alley because it's a sexual peptide. Now, this peptide works and is FDA approved for female libido enhancement. That's right. Females, they didn't forget about you guys because you guys make up almost half the population on this earth. If you didn't believe that, I think the females might even dominate in some different countries as far as population-wise. But it's really, really crazy with this. So this is awesome because what it does is, and this can work on males the exact same way. So females or males can use PT141, formaldehyde, and use it for the exact same thing to increase libido effect through the nervous system. And that's the difference between PT141 or your Viagra or Cialis. So tadalafil or sildenafil, those main ingredients. So PT141 works on the nervous system. So it's true libido enhancement. It doesn't work on the vascular system. So at that point, most females out there are more mentally driven by stimulation of sexual function, right? So more females are turned on by the way a guy may be talking or how funny he is or his intelligence factor than more the way that he looks or feels. That's why you might see some girls out there in the street. You're like, wow, how'd that guy score that chick? He must be really rich. And he's not rich. Well, I don't know. It is what it is. But this is some of the different ways where females are a little bit different than us males out there. All right. Because I know some males, it really doesn't matter if she's hot. She don't have to have her brain. She don't have to even talk English or even the native language to where he's at. He's going to town. It doesn't really matter. So it's just really crazy how that all works out, guys. Really, really crazy. So PT141 can be used by itself. It can be used as an injectable form, an oral sublingual form. We also have it in Cupid's Candy. So Cupid's Candy is one of the best. It's one of the top libido enhancing therapies I think we offer for males and females out there. The reason is because of 3 main ingredients you're going to get on it. And those 3 main ingredients are, first, you're going to have PT141, bromelitide in it. It's going to be there to help increase libido effect to the nervous system. Then you're going to get tadalafil. Tadalafil is the main ingredient in Cialis. And what that does is that works on the vascular system. So it does vasodilation, it increases blood flow down to the extremities, increasing sensitivity for females and erections for males. Also, the third one, oxytocin, the bonding hormone. You might have heard about this one a lot, right? But the bonding hormone, oxytocin, works in a number of different ways. So it's going to help hopefully lower inhibitions down, open communication, and have the bonding experience between you and your partner. So this is just some of the different things you're going to benefit from by taking Cupid's Candy. It's in a rapid dissolvable tablet. Tastes like orange. It literally dissolves in about 20 to 30 seconds, and you're ready to go probably about 15, 20 minutes later. So it's a really, really great therapy, and it's really, really cool because males and females can both take it. If you're in a couple or relationship or marriage, you guys can take this together, and it's like a bonding experience. Like, you know, you guys are going away to summer camp almost. You guys are trying something new, whatever it is, and you're doing it together. That increases the bonding effect. So try it. If you guys got loved ones, what up, John? If you guys got loved ones that you want to try it with, or you're looking to spice things up, or you want to perform at your very, very best, tight and strong, this is definitely the one for you guys.
Then really quick on that subject,
sure.
Ask, can you get it in nasal spray?
Sure, you can get it in nasal spray. I'm just being honest with you. The best ways to take it are through injectable or through sublingual. The nasal spray can work. And there are studies out there, the percentage that what you would take, because they're starting to come up with a lot more nasal sprays for some different things. Me, just personally, I don't like shooting it up my nose because, you know, it's just a little different, I guess. I don't know. But it will hit the brain. It will go in the bloodstream. You know, it'll hit. So, you know, we could possibly do that. It is what it is. Cialis is good for blood pressures also. Yes, it was. Yes, it is. Excuse me. So Viagra, especially too, as well, I mean, was not made specifically for ED. It was originally made for like a blood pressure medication. That's what they were originally going to go for the FDA approval. And then the side effect was the erections. And they said, this is a home run right here. And that's where they went after, right? It's just like kind of like Botox. Botox originally was for, you know, the face and tightening the face and stuff like that. Now they're using it for like people who sweat a lot. They can inject those different areas. It tightens the pores. They don't sweat as much. For headaches and migraines. Like, so there's other uses for some of these different medications or some of these different things that they affect, which is really, really cool. And, you know, when they bring these things out and we can utilize them, it's even better. Some medications can be used for off-label use too as well. It just depends on what they are. Really, really cool. Thank you guys for all joining me, man. 54 strong in here. I'm loving this, man. Any questions, shoot them out to me, all right? I appreciate all you guys joining me. All right, so let's talk about the next topic, the Testosterone Revolution. All right. So this one was a really, really exciting one for me to talk about with you guys. So obviously, listen, Titan Medical Center has been around now about 10 years. Okay, and at that point, I've seen a lot of different things, and I've went through a lot of trials and tribulations by, you know, creating Titan Medical Center and starting off Titan Medical Center. Me and my wife, and a lot of no's up front. A lot of people that were against testosterone replacement therapy in general back then, or hormone replacement therapy, or all these different injectable vitamin amino acid therapies that we were going to offer, and the whole thing about anti-aging clinics and all this. It was a lot of issues, guys, a lot of problems, a lot of myths, a lot of misinformation out there. So, you know, it's good that I see a lot more people being educated about testosterone and hormones in general and their health, because these things all go together. And at that point, when I was reading some of this different material out there, you know, it just makes sense. And I'm glad it's finally out there. And I'm glad there's more studies out there than ever. More clinical data than ever. What's going on? Canada, US, man, we're getting all kinds of people in here. It's getting crazy now. So at this point, when we talk about testosterone, you know, there's a couple of key points I want to talk about on here. Obviously, right now, it's there's more people out there that are educated than ever, and there's more places that are offering this than ever. And the reason is because there's a true, decline in testosterone levels naturally in males and females. So at this point, like, it's affecting quality of life. It's affecting daily life. It is what it is. So at that point, I want to make sure that everybody does understand this, that testosterone in males and females is both needed. We need them both. And whether you're a male or whether you're female, you need testosterone. It's just at different levels, where testosterone is a masculine hormone. And that word itself is taboo. It's chastised now. It's dragged through the mud as something bad. Masculine is not something bad. Masculinity is not. Okay? So at that point, like, for everybody to go on record and say that masculinity is bad and this is what it is and it's egomaniac. No, it's not. It's not. It really isn't. Now, people can be cocky, arrogant, all these different things, and some people will confuse that with masculinity, and that's not what it is. So with this, you have a masculine hormone. It does a lot of different things, from help with metabolic issues, cardiovascular issues, glucose issues, obviously sexual issues, obviously brain function as well, because there's a lot of testosterone receptors in the brain too. Lisa G, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? Man, it's crazy to see all these people on here. All right, so when we talk about all these great things that testosterone is good for and needed for, then we talk about some of the myths that we went through in the past. Testosterone is going to shrink your pee-pee. Testosterone is going to make you infertile. Okay, these are the big ones that I've heard, or that used to go around the biggest. The next one after that, testosterone is going to give you a blood clot, DVT, or stroke. Testosterone is going to give you prostate cancer. So let's knock all these down right off the top. So first off, testosterone itself is needed. Testosterone is not going to shrink your pee-pee. Testosterone is not going to make you infertile. Now, if taking testosterone improperly without the other medications with gonadal support, you will get shrinkage in your testicles and they will go through atrophy. And when they do go through atrophy, this will decrease semen volume. Okay, so you're not going to be able to shoot as much semen. Obviously, this is going to cause issues if you're trying to get somebody pregnant. So this is just one of the different things, okay? After that, DVT, blood clots, and strokes. Can testosterone do it to you? Yes, absolutely, 100%. But if monitored correctly, testosterone will not do that to you. But if you are getting monitored by somebody that's really not monitoring you and doesn't really know what they're talking about or care at that point, and I hope that's not the issue, that they don't care, but I've seen it out there. And at that point, you go for so long and your red blood cell count, your hemoglobin, your hematocrit are really high. You're running really high, and they stay high for long periods of time. Your blood basically turns very, very thick. The viscosity is thick. And at that point, it turns almost like sludge, and it's not going to be able to go through your body. And this is what causes those things. So if done properly and monitored properly, you're not going to get any issues with a blood clot, DVT, or stroke. The other things, prostate cancer. So now we have clinical studies saying that, listen, even taking testosterone is not going to increase prostate cancer. Now, prostate cancer is on the rise. There could be other things that are affecting people and increasing the risk of getting prostate cancer. So at that point, we do want to monitor prostate, though. We don't want that to go high. We're on testosterone, obviously. And we got to make sure everything's all right. So we do test that just to be sure, but there is clinical data and studies with this now. The other thing, sugar levels. Improvement of sugar levels. Improvement of cardiovascular health, not declines. Metabolic function or metabolic syndrome. This is an improvement when using testosterone. Brain function, right? Quality of life are improvements with testosterone. So when we talk about testosterone, we should really be holding it up high on a pedestal and not putting it in the dumps, in the garbage, or having people kick dirt on it, because it's something that our body naturally produces, males and females. With males, we produce it in our testicles. Females, they produce it in their ovaries. So at that point, we produce this naturally. It's not something bad. Just because it's an anabolic steroid, we shouldn't put... Oh, God. I hate that word. anabolic steroid. When I say that word, people cringe. People think, people taking shots in the butt and bodybuilders and people roid raging. That's not what anabolic steroids are. I mean, listen, people can abuse anything and make it look bad, but true anabolic steroids are not bad, and they can be used correctly if done with medical supervision and by a proper medical practitioner. So at that point, and blood work and all these other good things. So don't do that. Better sleep too as well, Hulk Squad. Thank you for sure. Big Ice said Wakanda forever. Okay.
Chadwick Boseman died of that.
Oh, he did die of prostate cancer. Big shout out to Chadwick. I just seen that on here. Chadwick. Big Chadwick Boseman, man. I mean, he did all those Marvel films while still having prostate cancer. So I mean, the dude was a soldier, man. He really was. I mean, nobody even knew. I didn't know until after he died and all that. And they were talking about all these different films he did. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, this guy was going through some serious stuff, man. It was obviously terminal and life-threatening, and at that point, just really crazy. Studies have really been done, on steroids? Yes. So, especially on testosterone, a lot of studies, especially recently in the last 10, 15 years, there's been a ton of them, man. And you'll love the studies, because the studies are they all reflect positively on testosterone, as long as it's not abused or you're not getting monitored or something like that. Like, that's the only bad thing about it. But otherwise than that, it's crazy. I realize your inhaler for asthma. Yeah, so your inhaler for asthma, though, it's a corticosteroid, right? So, Anthony, I'll try to talk about that and help you out. But so when we talk about steroids, there's different types of steroids. There's anabolic steroids. There's corticosteroids. And we talk about asthma inhalers and stuff like that. It's more of like a corticosteroid. We talk about cortisone. That's a corticosteroid, right? Prednisone. That's a corticosteroid. And when we talk about anabolic steroids, we talk about testosterone. We talk about oxandrolone. That's another anabolic steroid. These are different anabolic steroids. And they can be used too, well within medical use if done properly and diagnosing properly. So there's a lot of different things out there. You watch your mouth, kid. Yeah, for sure. Cowie Linus is all the way from Brazil. Big shout out to you, girl. Thank you for joining us. Every Tuesday, got Iran's in the house. Wow. It's crazy. So all these people from all around the world. It's not even around the country anymore. It's around the world. Guys, if you guys want to listen to good information after this, go search up my podcast. Wherever you can download podcasts, type up Tight Medical Center or Tight Lifestyle. You're going to hear all great stuff and a lot of good content there, okay? All right, so testosterone, it's a great thing, not a bad thing. And I'm glad that people and everything is coming to light and all these studies are coming to light. I want a lot of people to be able to take advantage of testosterone or hormone replacement therapy so they can get all the benefits and improve their quality of life day to day. There's a lot of people out there that have a horrible quality of life day to day right now, and they think that they have to live with that, and they really don't know what the problem is. I tell you guys all the time, blood test, see where you're at. If there's problems, you can always make an educated decision. You guys can always get to those problems sooner than later when they can cause more damage to you. Okay? All right, so the next one, this is a really, really good one. 10 signs you're drinking way too much caffeine. And I might not give you all 10 of them, but let's talk about caffeine. So when we talk about caffeine, caffeine's a really, really good thing to utilize. It can help with a number of different things, from your energy levels to mental clarity. Even for weight loss portions, you can utilize caffeine. Caffeine's been used for, hundreds of years, and maybe more, thousands maybe. Caffeine can come from a number of different things. Obviously, it comes from coffee beans. I don't even know where else they were getting caffeine from, but I think that was the major places. So with caffeine, caffeine illegally by definition is a drug. Okay, so caffeine is, people can drink caffeine daily, and people can become dependent on caffeine. Now, the recommended dose of caffeine per day is 400 milligrams. So if you're drinking 5 cups of coffee, you're probably going over that. If you're drinking more than that, any energy drink or whatever is out there, caffeine pills, you're going over that. Pre-workouts, you're going over that. So with this, caffeine is great. And like I said, you can become dependent on it. Now, becoming dependent means this. it means that you need to take a certain dose to get back to normal, your body functioning properly to where it was at or it's used to. Now, a lot of people think, well, caffeine's addictive. So when we look at this, it's actually two different definitions. So with dependency, that means that your body's relying on this to a certain extent, but can stop at any amount of time. Now, when you're addicted, this can change different things as far as the brain, and can also change things as far as dependent physically on it. So it's not like heroin or oxycodone or whatever it is that you get physically addicted to. But you may be dependent on it. So every morning, but man, I can't get started until I drink my cup of coffee. That might mean that you're dependent on caffeine because you need it to function. Or to function properly, right? You could probably still function, but probably at 1/4% or maybe 0.5%, 0.5% where you're at. But you definitely want to go full percent in whatever you're doing, right? You want to make sure you're giving 100%. So with this, you want to look at a couple of different things. You want to make sure that you're trying to regulate your caffeine intake. That's the biggest thing out of this. And it's okay to utilize caffeine, but don't utilize it more and more each day. That's going to just raise your tolerance in caffeine, okay? And eventually, it's not going to have a good effect on you. When you overdose on these different things and stimulants, especially like caffeine, this can cause irritability. This could cause nauseousness. This could cause high blood pressure in some instances. There's a number of different negative effects that can happen from caffeine and caffeine use. So with this, some ways to improve on utilizing caffeine. Maybe take a couple days off in between. That might be a good way for you to utilize it and be able to get off of it. So you're not, keeping that tolerance high. Even with me, I take ECAs every day, the exact same dose. And I'll change it up a little bit. And even on the weekends, I'll try to go at least 1 or 2 days without taking it. Even if I have a crazy busy day or I'm coaching baseball both days, whatever it is, I try not to take caffeine. And at that point, I'm good Monday morning. Boom, when I take that caffeine, that ECA, that and the ephedrine, boom, kick me in the butt, and I'm ready to go, rock and roll, because it's going to be a busy week every week at Titan. So with that, that's kind of different things I would do. Improving your sleep. So a lot of people take caffeine because they have energy problems, right? They didn't get enough sleep before. They feel down. They feel groggy. They need to wake up. They need the energy to go. Now, it's really funny because the way that caffeine works is it actually blocks adenosine receptors in the brain. And this makes it, so you don't feel tired anymore. So with that, you want to just make sure that you're ready to rock and roll. But if you're improving your sleep, you should feel a little bit better the next day because it shouldn't help you improve as far as your energy goes. Now, if you're overdosing on caffeine or you're taking it for long extended periods of time at super high doses, this can also cause brain fog, right? So you might not be thinking as clear as you thought you were going to be thinking on this high level of caffeine. That's the biggest mistake I see with a lot of people. They think they're going to get stimulated, right? So whether it's a pre-workout or it's a caffeine pill or it's even ECAs, more is not necessarily better. So, if you're taking one pill and you feel great, you have great natural energy, you're not bouncing off walls, heart's not beating out of your chest, you don't feel nauseous, good clean energy, ready to rock and roll. And you say, well, I just want to up it up even more. So I take double the dose. Now you're probably going to be bouncing off the walls. You still, you can't pay attention to one thing. Eyes might be fluttering, your heart's beating out of your chest. You feel jittery, your stomach's in knots, or you have to go to the bathroom because it just feels in tumbles. You got bubble guts, whatever it is. These are different things that caffeine can affect in a negative way in situations. So with that, just make sure, listen, caffeine's something you can utilize. It's good to utilize, but don't overdo it and don't overdose on it. Keep it in check. Understand where you're at, how much you're taking per day, and this will help you guys along with your goals. I promise you in the future and whatever you're trying to achieve out there. All right?
Someone said smoke a joint instead.
Smoke a joint instead, that's going to actually relax you, right? So, you can smoke a joint and relax all day long. Now, before bed, that might be a game changer. In a lot of these states where people have, whether it's medical marijuana and they have it to them or recreational, some people do that, right? They might go home, they might smoke a joint or eat some edibles or whatever it is, and, it helps them go to sleep, it helps them relax. That's the relaxing thing. And that's okay, too, if that's what it is. Even one glass of red wine before bed, that's fine. Drink that. That's cool. It's when you start overdoing it. Drink a 6-pack before bed. That's no good, man. You're smoking, an ounce, before the whole day or whatever it is. I don't know. You're smoking a lot, an eighth per se right before bed. That might be a little bit too much. At that point, just do it within reason, not in excess, and that's going to help you guys. And the littlest amount that gives you the biggest effect is what you want to go with. Don't overdo it. All right, so Anthony asks, what vitamins and herbs increase tests? What form of caffeine should we take? Okay, so let's talk about these things. So vitamins and herbs to make your testosterone rise. I don't really know too many. I'm not going to sit here and talk about deer root extract or some of these different things that some of these people out there pitched you guys. I haven't seen anything that's going to dramatically increase testosterone levels. If we're talking 10 points, 50 points, that's really nothing. We want to talk about 200 or 300 points at least in an increase. Now we're talking. Because some people are at, let's say, 300. You increase them 50 points, it's really nothing. It's a drop in the barrel, man. But if we really increase a lot, that's a whole different thing. So I don't really know any vitamins or herbs that I would say truthfully that they're going to help you improve your testosterone levels. But what I can say is if you don't want to take testosterone, in clomiphene, not clomiphene, in clomiphene can definitely work really well. And I've seen this work with patients, and it's our gonadal support for people on testosterone replacement therapy. I take it. And I took HCG for 10 years straight, so maybe more, 12 years straight, geez. And at that point, it works just as good, if not even better. And with that, it will turn on your FSH, which is your follicle-stimulating hormone, and your luteinizing hormone to increase your natural production in your body. And that's really the first step for somebody that doesn't want to do testosterone, is right on the borderline, wants to try to increase naturally. That's really the go-to, right? That will help stimulate. So that's one good one, okay, that I'm going to talk to you about. Now, Big Irishman says salmon helps increase, but slightly. You have to eat something like a bear to get high levels. I mean, anything you do, you're going to have to do excessive amounts. And this could cause other negative effects, too, as well. Wow, that's hell a lot. Yeah, do 1 gram only before bed. Yeah, that's a lot, right? That's definitely a lot. But with that, I mean, vitamins and herbs, like I said, I wouldn't really go with it. I would go with like clomiphene or something that really, really does work. And we know it does work. It works, through blood. We see it through blood. It's not something like, oh, I think it works. I think I feel a little bit better, and that is what it is. All right, so what form of caffeine should we take? So caffeine or ephedrine, it should be HCl, right? Caffeine should be HCl, caffeine, and it should be ephedrine, HCl. Sorry, this Invisalign's really messing with me, guys. I got Invisalign in my teeth, and I'm like halfway through this process here, and it literally feels like my mouth is changing by day, and the way that I talk, or like it jams up. I don't know. Really, really crazy. I'm used to talking a million miles an hour, and sometimes I get stuck on these different things. What's all the fuss about turmeric? And now they must have had a loaf of pepper needed sold, so now they take pepper and turmeric to activate it. What are the testosterone pills on the market too? All right, so
OTC.
Oh man, so turmeric I know is good for inflammation, like all these different things. I know they say these things to you guys. I have seen some improvement with my dad. He said the way he feels about turmeric. With pepper to activate and all this, now we're getting a little bit too crazy, right? Are these really working, and how much are they working? That's what I really want to find out. It is what it is. It's just so crazy, and I can't comment on it because I don't see any studies on it. I haven't seen any studies on turmeric and activating it through your pepper or anything like that. It's just really, really weird, man. It is. It's crazy with some of the stuff that's out there. But yeah, I turmeric you can add in if you really want to. I don't take it. I don't really feel a need for it. And taking some of the different things that I take decrease inflammation automatically already. So it is what it is. Do you get T5s in your state? What are T5s? I've never heard of that. Greetings from Cuba. Cuba in the house.
We had somebody from Japan earlier.
Japan too? Man, we're going worldwide. Man, this is impressive. I'm loving it, guys. Thank you guys, man.
We got a couple, Little Evil, he's asking when taking tests, what are the best peptides to take when you have the joint and ligament tendon issues?
Sure.
He also did ask about the process about signing up paperwork and the consultation.
Okay, all right. So let's go through this real quick and answer all your questions there. All right. Libra, Cuba. Libra,
free.
Libra, Cuba, my brother.
Free.
Libra, for sure, free over there. All right, so let's answer the questions. So, Little Evil 0424, love that name. All right, I asked 2 questions. The first question was, what's the process to becoming a patient? So, if you want to become a patient and you've never taken testosterone before, you've never had your blood levels checked, or maybe you have, you just got to call. We'll get you signed up for a blood test. Send you in for the labs. At that point, you'll fill out the new patient paperwork. We'll get the labs back expeditedly in 3 to 4 business days. Get you signed up for a medical consultation. The provider will go over all the different results with you there, talk about all your different goals, health goals, look over your new patient paperwork, your health history, your family history, and at that point, make the recommendations for you. We will look over it before, and we'll let you know what your levels are too as well before we make the consultation to make sure we can help you out. Okay, so if you're on testosterone with another provider, or it is what it is. So if you're getting it prescribed from somewhere else and you want to switch to Titan because the service sucks where you're at, you're not getting your product. Somebody told me it took them 2 months to get their therapies every time. That is ridiculous. So if you're having problems like that, you're not getting the customer or patient care or satisfaction that you deserve, then call us, contact us. It's real simple and easy to convert over or transition over. All we're going to do is confirm that you're prescribed testosterone from the provider or from the pharmacy you're getting it from. We'll run another blood test if you need one, because we need blood work within 60 days, a full blood panel. And at that point, do your consultation. You're ready to rock and roll. We got you converted, and you're good to go. So at that point, it's real simple and easy to convert over if you're with another provider and want to become a Titan Medical Center patient, or if you've never done it before and you want to become a Titan Medical Center patient. It's so simple and easy to do. So let's talk about the second part of his question. When on testosterone, and can you go to it real quick so I can just read it off again? Man, Scotland's in the house. Man, there's all the different people in here. All right, so Little Evil asked this. When taking testosterone, what are the best peptides to take when you have joint or ligament tendon issues? And it's funny that you asked that question, because it leads me right back to 2 of the major healing peptides, and one's our therapy of the week. TB-500 and BPC-157, especially for ligaments and tendon issues, soft tissues. These are the therapies that you should utilize. These will be great, and they won't be just great for helping repair ligaments and tendons after you've injured them. They will also be great if you want to use them as a prophylactic. And let me explain how and why. So, when you're on testosterone, this might help you develop more lean tissue, or in particular, more muscle, and a lot quicker. So when you develop more muscle, you usually can add on more strength. And when you have more strength, you become stronger. And with that, you want to keep going up in weight. So when you get underneath the bench, yes, you can lift that bar with your muscles and the strength that you have. But the other things that you have to worry about are your ligaments, your tendons, and you do have to worry about your muscle. But the thing about this is that muscles develop a lot quicker than ligaments and tendons. So at that point, you have to keep working your way up. You can't just go from 0 to 100 per se. And with using BPC-157 or TB-500, this can help with the repair of those ligaments and tendons, and hopefully help them become stronger as you're getting stronger and developing more lean quality mass and muscles. So at that point, those would be my go-to. The other thing after that, maybe IGF-1 or MK677 to raise IGF-1 levels. You can use MK. Honestly, if you want to increase, your lean body mass, you can use that. That will help with IGF-1 levels, which will increase recovery and help with those tendons and ligaments too as well. So I hope that answered your question, Little Evil. It was a great 2 questions. Sheepy Strain says, it also makes your bones a lot stronger, my doctor told me. I used to run tests as a kid, so now in my later life, unfortunately, I need to get it prescribed as I abused it far too much. Okay, so it does. So it also increases bone density. And as we age, if we're natural, our bone density can actually decrease, making it more fragile and more easier for bones to break. That's why a lot of older people, when they fall, they usually break bones. And that's because their bone density is actually on the decline, and there's not much more. So increasing bone density is also another health plus. And what he said was, I had to use it, I used to run it as a kid. So, all right, so if you use it as a run as a kid, yeah. So as you abuse it later on, so what it does is it'll shut down your natural production. So if you don't need testosterone, don't take it, okay? I promise you guys. Even if you want the expedited gains and all this, and you just, can't wait, trust me, guys, wait. Do as much as you possibly can with your genetics. Don't have to, because once you start, I don't care what anybody tells you out there. If you want to maintain those levels and feel the way you do, you have to keep up with it. It is what it is. Everybody asks me, is testosterone a lifelong commitment? And when I tell them, I said yes and no. Yes, if you want to feel the exact same. If you want to feel good every day, you want the improvement of quality of life, getting all the benefits that you're getting with testosterone, then you'll have to keep using it. No, in the fact that you don't need it. You won't die if you stop taking it. You just won't feel as good. Quality of life might decrease a little bit. Sexual function, all these different things. You could get depression, so that might really, really affect you. That could affect you mentally for sure. And that could cause a lot of different problems. So, I mean, it's not a life or death situation, but it's not the best situation either. So I always tell people, and I'm upfront with them about it. I'm like, listen, it is what it is. So if you're ready to take this journey, then know that this journey might be lifelong in that situation or scenario. But it isn't lifelong. It's not a commitment. You can get off at any point in time. And even if people need to come off per se, let's say it's a health issue, okay? Let's say it's a financial issue or burden. They just can't do it. Then how do you get off? You can get off too. There are protocols so you can go back to your baseline number at least and not crashing your body or going on a roller coaster or causing depression. These are some of the different things that can happen. Once you pop, you can't stop. That's for sure. That tagline is so key. Those damn Pringle guys, man, they got a good one for sure on that one. I know a lot of people that have ran tests all their lives. You're on point with the knowledge for sure. Thank you, man. Yeah, so even me, man, I'm 28 years old. I'm 41 now. Been running since then, and I needed it, right? So obviously, I might have messed around with a little bit of anabolic steroids when I was a little bit younger because, I did what a lot of natural younger guys do. When you're younger and you're in the gym and you really want to put on lean body mass and you want to be that bigger guy, because I think we all want to do, especially in my age group, because we grew up with superheroes and all these different people, and that was what we idolized, right? And these big, strong, masculine people that took care of people and helped people. You kind of want to be one of those people. So, you go up to the biggest guy in the gym because he probably has all the knowledge. He's gotten to where he's got. I want to know what his tricks and tips are, right? I want to hear it right from him and see what it really is. And, you go up to those guys. Now, you usually get two different answers if you go up to a gym bro. And this one's the funniest. And, I didn't really realize as much as why I got in the business. But this is the funniest one of it all. So you go out to say, hey, listen, man, I want to get big like you. Like, what do I do? Man, get your nutrition on point, get your training on point, and sleep, and you'll be good to go, man. I'll get like you. Yep, you'll get just like me. Okay, so that's one instance of it. And there's a lot of truth to that. And, I really tip my hats off to those guys because they're not telling them to take steroids right off the bat. And then you got the other guys who are like, hey, listen, you want to get big? This is what you got to take. Take this, take this, take this, take this. Oh, and by the way, if you need it, I can get it to you too as well. So, you usually get two different answers from those guys. And the guys that tell you to eat, and train, and sleep might not be telling you the whole truth, but at least they're not pointing you into a bad direction, right? They don't want you to go down this path. And if they do, that's something else, I guess. And that's somebody's decision too as well, right? But eat. You can't grow if you don't eat, right? Hydrate, it's a huge one, big one for sure. Can someone please help me with a few groceries for my... No, we're not going to do that. I'm sorry, bud. I'm sorry, dude.
5 minute
We're not here there.
warning.
If you want to eat... All right, so the next one. Let's talk about it. What's the Titan poll of the week? We got to get to this. So what's the worst injury you've ever had? 11% said knee, ankle, foot injury. The other 11% said head injury, non-TBI, so traumatic brain injury. 14% burns, cuts, scrapes, etc. 25% said back injuries. And the biggest one, 39%, and this is the most common ones out there, are arm and shoulder injuries. So, great run. And, listen, guys, the majority of the population gets hurt in one way, shape, or form or the other, in ways from, whether it's working out, they're working at their job, like me, I went bent down at the golf course, the miniature golf course, went back up. I feel like I threw out my back. Don't know what happened, how the hell I did it. Didn't do anything stupid, crazy, and shit just happens. It is what it is. So, with this, how can you guys get over these injuries faster? That's the main thing. And that's what we talked about TB-500 and BPC-157 for faster recovery, faster healing, and to get you over some of these different things. And those healing peptides can help out with every single one of those injuries that you have up there, that those people are facing day in and day out, especially the arm and shoulder injury. Okay, I know about that firsthand, and a lot of people I know about that firsthand. So, it's a big one out there, and it affects a lot of different people. So, give your guys, I want to put the tools in your guys' tool belt so you guys can utilize them for yourselves. A lot of people don't realize the time to run juices when you're at your peak physical fitness. Don't run cycles before this. Yeah, so even with that, man, I even tell people, I'm like, listen, I wouldn't even run cycles. I mean, at this point, when you run cycles, you're all you're doing is you're starting your function back up, as far as everything working really, really good, and then you're on the decline. Even if you take PCT, post-cycle therapy, there are some things that can help, get things right back on track to a certain extent and hopefully get things back to where they were. But if you're going to go down this path, and I only say do it if you need to, and if you need to, stay on the path. There's no reason to get off and on. I never understood that I've seen some doctors out there prescribing that protocol. People like, yeah, you'll go 3 months on and 1 month off, and 3 months on. Why? And cold turkey too. So why? What are we doing here? But it's crazy how that works. And you just got to make sure that whoever's taking care of you and monitoring you and prescribing these things know what they're doing and they have experience. And that's one thing with us. We have a track record of 10 plus years now, so God bless us on that. I remember the first year, it was like pulling teeth, but talking to people about testosterone replacement, hormone replacement therapy, injections, and people told me I was crazy about the vitamin amino acid injectables, but look at them now. It is what it is, guys. I appreciate all you guys tuning in. This has been an awesome Titan Talk Tuesday. I mean, we've been killing as far as all the people from around the world tuning in today. So I hope I've entertained you guys. I hope I've shared some knowledge with you guys, helped you guys out in one way, shape, or form. I appreciate all you guys. And listen, if you want to know more, want to learn more, share this. You guys can share this with people on Instagram. I know at the bottom you can just share it with people. At that point, tag some people in this. And come back, see me every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the U.S. Come see me, talk to me, let me know what's going on. I appreciate it, John. I want to give you guys the best shows possible. I really think about some of the content that I'm bringing to you guys. I want to make it entertaining, but I want to make it knowledgeable too as well and help you guys with your quality of life and being tight and strong day in and day out. So, guys, that's the show. I appreciate all you guys. Much love, much respect. Thank you guys for all the support. And I'll see you guys next Tuesday, 6 p.m. for Titan Talk Tuesdays with me, John, CEO of Titan Medical Center. Later, guys.